All right. I call this meeting of the Mount Vernon Independent School District to order. Let the record show that a quorum of board members is present, that this meeting has been duly called, and that notice of this meeting has been posted in accordance with the Texas Open Meetings Act, Texas Government Code, Chapter 551. Let the record show that Robert Taylor, Leanne Ramsey, and Linda Baird are not present, and that Brooke Bazell is on the phone.
Brooke, will you say hello?
Hello.
Okay. All right.
So we have to have four to have a quorum, and it is good for us to have Brooke on the phone, as long as we'll be checking with her periodically to make sure that she is here. So at this time, I need a motion that we certify the agenda. Motion made by Scott, second by Josh, all four. Brooke, how do you vote?
Yes.
Brooke votes yes, so that is four. At this time, Avery Vernon will lead us in a prayer.
Please pray with me. Dear Heavenly Father, I want to thank you on behalf of all who have gathered here today for the opportunity to come together and open this school board meeting in prayer. Lord, I thank you for the blessings that we as a community have had the privilege to experience. I thank you for empowering the lives of each and every one of the leaders in this room, the school board, our teachers, and every person that helps keep our school flourishing. I ask that you give each of them wisdom, a desire to seek you and the needs you. I ask that you give us a desire to always seek the needs of the students and guidance to always do what is just and right before your eyes. I pray over the agenda set before them today as they discuss and recommend actions that will influence us as well. Please give them guidance to govern peacefully and provide assurance of what would please you and what would benefit the lives of those who serve around our beloved school district. May we always be guided by the spirit of community, by the spirit of justice, and by the spirit of love. In your blessed name I pray. Amen.
Amen. Thanks, Avery. Let's do our pledges. American flag. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Honor the Texas flag.
I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state under God, one and indivisible.
Right. February is National FFA Month, right? And National FFA Week is a little bit later on, so it's an honor tonight. This is a normal meeting. If you haven't been here before, we have our FFA officers and some other members here joining us tonight to kind of show them as we go along some of the things that we do. So at this time, they're going to go through their opening ceremonies. Madam President.
The meeting room will come to order. We are now holding a meeting of the Mount Vernon FFA chapter. Madam Vice President, are all officers at their stations?
I shall call the roll of officers, determine if they're at their station, and report back to you, Madam President. The Sentinel.
Stationed by the door.
Your duties there?
Through this door pass many friends of the FFA. It is my duty to see that the door is open to our friends at all times and that they are welcome. I care for the meeting room and the paraphernalia. I strive to keep the room comfortable and assist the president in maintaining order.
The reporter.
The reporter stationed by the flag.
Why by the flag?
As the flag covers the United States of America, I strive to inform the people that every man, woman, and child may know that the FFA is a national organization, reaching from the state of Alaska to Virgin Islands and from the state of Maine to Hawaii.
The treasurer.
Stationed at the Emblem of Washington.
Your duties there?
I keep a record of receipts and disbursements, just as Washington kept his farm accounts, carefully and accurately. I encourage thrift among the members and strive to build up our financial standing through savings and investments. George Washington was better able to serve his country because he was financially independent.
The secretary.
Stationed by the ear of corn.
Your duties there?
I keep an accurate record of all meetings and correspond with other secretaries wherever corn is grown and FFA members meet.
The advisor.
Here by the owl.
Why by the owl?
The owl is a time-honored emblem of knowledge and wisdom. Being older than the rest of you, I am asked advice from time to time as the mood arises. I hope that my advice will be based on true knowledge and ripened with wisdom. Madam Vice President, why do you think the plow at your station?
The plow is a symbol of labor and tillage of the soil. Without labor, neither knowledge nor wisdom can accomplish much. My duties require me to assist at all times in the work of our organization. I preside in the meetings in the absence of our president, whose place is beneath the rising sun.
Why is the President so stationed?
The rising sun is a token of a new era in agriculture. If we will follow the leadership of our president, we shall be led out of the darkness of selfishness and into the glorious sunlight of brotherhood and cooperation. Madam President, all officers are at their station.
Thank you, Madam Vice President. The Secretary will call the roll of members.
There are approximately 60 guests and members, Madam President.
Thank you. FFA members, why are we here? To practice
brotherhood, honor agricultural opportunities and responsibilities, and develop those qualities of leadership which an FFA member should possess.
May we accomplish our purposes. I now declare this meeting of the Mount Vernon FFA chapter duly open for the transaction of business or attention to any matters which may properly be presented.
Ms. Dixon, do we have somebody to introduce us right now?
Yeah, so we're going to have Ms. Betsy Tomar. She's our president for the Mount Vernon FFA chapter. She's going to present to us today her creed performance that she gives at some of our LD competitions. And Betsy will kind of take the floor and give us a little bit of information about it.
Yes. So my name is Betsy Tovar, and I'm currently a senior here at Mount Vernon High School. And this past summer, I had the opportunity to present the FFA Creed, which is basically a 5-paragraph that talks about the values and beliefs of the FFA organization and the agriculture industry. And this summer, I had the opportunity to recite the Creed and compete in Spanish, and I was named state champion. And then this past December, I had the opportunity to recite the Creed in English and win 3rd place at the state level. And now I will be presenting it to you in English. The FFA Creed by E.M. Tippett. I believe in the future of agriculture with a faith born not of words, but of deeds. Achievements won by the present and past generations of agriculturists. In the promise of better days through better ways, even as the better things we now enjoy have come to us from the struggles of former years. I believe that to live and work on a good farm or to be engaged in other agricultural pursuits is pleasant as well as challenging, for I know the joys and discomforts of agricultural life and hold an inborn fondness for those associations, which, even in hours of discouragement, I cannot deny. I believe in leadership from ourselves and respect from others. I believe in my own ability to work efficiently and think clearly with such knowledge and skill as I can secure, and in the ability of progressive agriculturists to serve our own and the public interest in producing and marketing the product of our toil. I believe in less dependence on begging and more power in bargaining, in the life abundant, and enough honest wealth to help make it so, for others as well as myself, in less need for charity and more of it when needed, in being happy myself and playing square with those whose happiness depends upon me. I believe that American agriculture can and will hold true to the best traditions of our national life, and that I can exert an influence in my home and community, which will stand solid for my part in that inspiring task. Thank you.
That was the creed, right?
Yes.
I guess they creed. The green hands have to
Yeah.
So sometimes it's one paragraph at a time.
Yeah.
We get to
I
it.
think that's how I did it. Okay, all right. On to our special recognitions at this time, Dr. McCullough.
Wow, I've got to follow that. Okay, I get the honor to recognize our teachers and staff members of the month. And so I am going to ask that if Ms. Dana Watson would come forward, please. Right here. So Ms. Dana is our Teacher of the Month at the elementary campus. And what her campus says about her is the following. Ms. Watson teaches fine arts to our pre-K through fourth grade students. Our students love her class as she helps them see the world through a lens of creativity and imagination. In her classroom, students are able to express their individuality through art and music. She is creative in her planning and always seeks new ideas to engage and motivate students through active learning and innovative problem solving. Ms. Watson's passion is evident as she encourages the study of fine arts to nurture and develop the whole child. Our hallways are a canvas of student artwork. This not only makes our hallways more colorful, but it provides inclusiveness. We want our students to believe they are artists, and Ms. Watson gives them a venue to feel that way. She spends an insurmountable time to make sure all student projects are displayed. In addition, she is flexible and is always willing to place the needs of students first. She is a team player and works collaboratively with our special teams and all staff in coordinating special rotations and parent engagement events. Most importantly, Ms. Watson demonstrates a concern and compassion for her students every day. Mount Vernon Elementary is thankful for the unique experiences Ms. Watson incorporates with the fine arts to increase student achievement, higher order thinking, and collaboration skills. She is a game changer. So, our elementary teacher of the month for February is Ms. Dana Watson. You there?
You got yours?
Go ahead, I got mine, go ahead.
Sorry.
Want to say anything? Okay, you're welcome. All right, very good. You're still there, right?
Yeah.
Okay, just making sure. All right. Next, if I could have our middle school teacher of the month, Miss Michelle Dameron. It says, Michelle has a love and passion for kids and their well-being. She cares deeply and works hard to help each and every student. She works well with everyone around her and is eager to assist anyone in any capacity to better our campus for student success. Ms. Dameron works hard to create lesson plans that relate to student activities, daily lives, and enjoyments. She endeavors to create lessons that encourage her students to love reading and writing while developing activities to highlight student successes. Such lessons include reading and writing about outside activities like football, baseball, softball, etc., and having celebrations for those successes outside the school environment as well. It is not uncommon to see students building gingerbread houses or enjoying creative AR parties. Ms. Dameron is a rock star, and we are blessed to have her on our middle school campus. Our middle school teacher of the month, Ms. Michelle Dameron. Very good. Paige, anything?
Thank you. It's an honor to be here.
I'm glad you're here. Next, if I can have our high school teacher of the month, Ms. Olivia Juarez. Says Ms. Juarez has long been and continues to be a great teacher and leader for Mount Vernon High School. She is a consummate professional in all she does and is dependable in every way. In the classroom, she is always prepared, organized, and effective with her instruction. It is evident to everyone that Ms. Juarez spends a great deal of time planning great lessons for her students. She does an excellent job of implementing her curriculum while carrying out campus initiatives with fidelity. Ms. Juarez is the best at maintaining an appropriate balance of challenging students with high expectations while also displaying empathy and understanding of individual circumstances. Students respond to her leadership and teaching style because they know she cares about them, but will also hold them accountable. She makes it a point to celebrate student success and recognize those who are working hard to reach expectations. Ms. Juarez has the ability to inspire students to achieve their very best and to help them set appropriate and attainable goals for their future. In addition to being a great classroom teacher, she serves as math department head for the campus. In her leadership capacity, she does a great job of facilitating collaboration on the math team as she works closely with her colleagues to ensure success across all math disciplines. She does a great job of leading by example and making sure all of her professional responsibilities are taken care of in a timely and effective manner. She's a great communicator with campus admin and will always bring information, questions, and suggestions to the appropriate person. In addition to these things, Ms. Juarez can always be counted on to help whenever necessary. She coaches our math academic UIL teams, provides before and after school tutorials, and has always been one to help organize events such as graduation or 8th grade parent night. We truly appreciate all that she does and brings to our students and to our school, and she is most definitely worthy of being honored as Teacher of the Month. Ms. Olivia Ward. Anything? Okay. Congratulations. And if I could now have our auxiliary employee of the month, Ms. Nicoya Williams, to come forward. Nicoya Williams has been a tremendous addition to Mount Vernon High School. She has quickly earned a stellar reputation amongst teachers and other staff as one of the hardest working, most dependable employees on campus. She can be found daily running from class to class as she supports students and teachers in her role as the SPED inclusion paraprofessional. She has a great demeanor in the classroom and holds students accountable for their academic performance and classroom behavior while also forming great relationships. Ms. Williams also always volunteers to help her take an additional task when necessary, as she has the school's best interests at heart. Outside of work, she is working hard to complete her education, become a certified teacher. We are fortunate to have Ms. Williams as part of our staff, and she is overdue to be named Employee of the Month. Congratulations. We can have the three come back up, get one picture, one group picture with all of them, please.
Imagination state down. Barb, you got this?
Sure.
Okay.
Okay, so this is what, year 4, I think. I've lost count. I think this is our 4th year to compete at the regional competition for Destination Imagination. So yeah, y'all go ahead and this is our engineering team that their challenge this year was to construct a roller coaster. They actually got a lot of materials. Typically in the engineering challenge, they get 2 materials. The first year we had playing cards and duct tape. Last year it was just pieces of wood and glue. This year there was a very long list of materials that they could use to construct a roller coaster. And in that, they had to have a golf ball that could be seen the entirety of the roller coaster. And there's a nice formula to calculate their score, but basically they calculate the speed on how long it takes, the ball to go down and how far it travels. And so they went with a Western theme, so they have other props that go with their presentation, but we didn't bring those. But they built like a Western wagon, like the stagecoach type of thing, and they built a conductor stand for the roller coaster conductor, and it would like spin and light up. But they are going to demo it for you. Is there anything else y'all want to say about it?
I don't think so. Just that, it's kind of been a challenge to construct it all with, without using certain elements that we would normally use very frequently. So
Yeah, you couldn't use heat, right?
Yeah,
So
so
it was
no
no
heat.
heat, no hot glue.
I don't know how much we will have to.
but it literally made it to the ending part like with 10 seconds left. I was sitting there crossing my fingers. So, but their presentation, like they do the little loop-de-loops, and then the pegs represent people that are trying to catch the bad guys, you know. So it's a full-on presentation.
And usually we get launching mechanism up here to give it a jump start.
Yes, and they're already adding to it right now to make it better for the state competition, which is later next month.
That'll take place where?
Arlington,
Arlington, this day?
the 24th and 26th.
Okay.
Would you introduce it to everybody, please?
I sure will. So this is Pearl Mendez, we have Paul Bentley, Giovanni Arzola, Irelena Reyes, and then where did Hensley go?
She went to get a drink.
And then Hensley played lock. Yes. We had another team compete at regionals too, and they got third place. So they were one place away from advancing. But they did good.
Congratulations.
Ms. Barnes, will you jot their names down? If you need them for the newspaper, then we'll have their names.
Yes.
See what all. Done before. Okay. Man, now's a good time. So when we get down to business, y'all are all, we would love for you to stay. But if you have lesson plans or ball games or just need to go home and eat supper or whatever, let's see, we are done with our special recognitions. So we have another 20 minutes. All right, 20 minutes of the meeting, so we'll roll on. We'll let y'all do that every time. Have that meeting with us. So, Hattie, if y'all would love to have an agenda with our agenda board members, we have different methods, but we have a board book, and we go through that before we get up here. And it's not just a little agenda. You can look at how many pages it is, and sometimes it's 30, 40 pages, stuff to read through. And that way when we get up here, if we have any questions, we'll talk to Dr. McCullough, that way we know what's going on for some of this business. So a lot of these, when we get to these action items in a little bit, we'll talk about them and we'll explain them, We've already kind of went over the stuff and read several pages of stuff on our board book, that way we know what's going on. If we have questions, we call him or whoever we need to, that way we kind of know what's going on. But for transparency, we can kind of explain some of this stuff. So,
Brooke, you are still with us?
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
okay, we move forward. At this time, we have what we call a consent agenda. Yes, and it has a lot of different things on there. As you see on your agenda here, number 5 has our minutes, the tax collection report, monthly investment report, and our budget. And the law says we can lump those together. So this is about 200 pages worth of stuff. And if there's no questions on that, we'll take a vote in just a second. So are there any questions, Dr. Josh? Brooke, you good with that one there? Any questions on the consent agenda? Okay. At this time, I need a motion that we consider approval of the consent agenda as presented.
Can I email you? I make that motion.
Motion made by Brooks, seconded by Scott. All four? That would be 4-0. We know that Brooke voted for it, so she made the second. All right. At this time, we're going to move to our action items. Number 6 on your agenda there. Item A is consider and approve MOU for Texas Child Health Access through telemedicine. Dr. McCullough?
You have the explanation in your board book, but I'll get to tell you for what it is. This is an agreement with UT Tyler, Texas Child Health Access through telemedicine. It's an MOU. There's not a charge for us or for them either. What it is, it's an opportunity, it's an initiative to provide short-term school-based access to a limited number of visits per academic year with a mental health professional for high-risk children with adolescents. So it's an opportunity for some of our students, and UT Health will set up the services here and the equipment that will be needed for that in a room that we'll provide, but it will provide an opportunity for some telehealth medicine or mental health opportunities for some of our students that our counselors would recommend or send that way.
Any questions on that? Yeah. Okay. This time I make a motion that we approve the MOU for Texas Child Health Access through telemedicine, the agreement between Mount Vernon ISD and the University of Texas Health Science Center at Tyler to provide pediatric and adolescent behavior health services by telehealth. Oh, I need a second for that. I made the motion, okay. Scott seconded, okay. Any further questions? All four? Brooke is four, so that is four. Moving on to item B, consider and amend notice of election to name early voting clerk.
Ms. Jessica's going to speak to that.
Yes, we actually approved this last month, but Catherine Cash was going to be our early voting clerk, and she does not live within the city limits. And so we are joining with our election with the city council and also the Franklin County Water District. So in order for us all to share workers and locations, we needed someone to be at the city hall for early voting that also lives within the city limits. So we're changing it from Catherine Cash to David Williams.
Thank you, Williams. Okay. Any other questions on that? So at this time, I need a motion that we amend the notice of election to name early voting clerk from Catherine Cash to David Williams.
Make that motion.
Motion made by Josh,
Second.
second by Brooke. All four? That's 4-0. Okay.
Thank you.
All righty. Item C here, consider and approve the appointment of election judges for the May 6, 2023 election.
Okay, that is awesome. We are going to appoint judges at 3 locations that, as I mentioned, we're sharing with the city and the Franklin County Water District. Early voting and on election day will be at City Hall with the judge, David Williams. He's also our early voting clerk. The alternate judge will be Betsy Taggart. At the Hagensport location, we're going to have Linda Warren as our judge, Catherine Cash as our alternate judge, Donna Barker as our clerk, and Joella Cooper as the additional clerk. South Franklin Community Center is our final location that we're sharing, and we'll have Debbie O'Hara as judge, Linda Brooks as alternate judge, Sandra Taylor as clerk, and Catherine Galloway as clerk.
Okay. Yes. They have to live in that area to be that.
Not necessarily, no.
Okay. I don't know one of those names was not, I want to make sure we can get the
No, they do not necessarily have to live within the same precinct, but
Okay.
as long as they live within the county.
in the county. Okay, great. All right. So, I didn't get all that wrote down, so I'm gonna go, is that on camera?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, so I need a motion that we approve the appointment of election judges for the May 6, 2023 election as presented. I make that motion, do I have a second? Seconded by Scott, all four? Brooke is 4, so that is 4, all right. Moving on to item D, that's our last action item. Consider and adopt resolution to purchase major award for varsity teams who win state championship.
Okay. As you know, we do have some very successful students, and we are wanting to put something in place to make it where we don't have to keep asking or figure out what we're going to do when we have students win a state championship. And so, since we have not put anything into, we have not budgeted this year, we don't want to make a gift of public funds without action item taking place. So we're bringing this before you today to adopt a resolution to make it to where the school itself, or as a school, we can do that. You have the resolution there to where you are authorizing me as superintendent to be able to do that with an amount not to exceed $350 per week. And we will, and for each one, what we are going to ask and require is that they try to raise funds through some donations to cover the cost, and for whatever cost is left over, as a school will cover that. Up to $350.
Okay.
Moving forward, what we'll do is we will put a line item in with the budget, and that way we can, if the line item you put is needed, because more than what we have, we can amend and go that route instead of having to make a resolution.
I think in the past, the schools paid for that, but we just haven't had anything said.
Yes.
Any further questions on that? Any more questions on that, Brooke?
No, sir.
All right. At this time, we need a motion to adopt the resolution to purchase major award for varsity team to win state championship. Do I have a motion for that? Motion made by Scott, second by Brooke. All four. That is 4-0. All to our information items here. Item A under 7 is proper notice to move March regular board meeting date from Monday, March 13th to Thursday, March 9th, because of
Spring break. Yeah, Thursday, Monday the 13th, spring break, and so we're out for that week, so we're moving that back to Thursday the 9th, and giving proper notice to do so.
Okay. Enrollment totals.
As of February 1, we're a total of 1565, which is down just a few, down 3 from January, but still up 51 from this time last year.
Okay. So, FFA members, if you don't know, we get paid by the state for you that are here. And then when you're not here, it's like if you're just deciding not to come to school, it costs us. So that's why we try to encourage you to be here. So as a board, like our packet here, we have a little deal that shows us how many students are in each grade and kind of variations and how many students total we have. All right. Campus and department updates. Desiree, we'll pull this a little bit closer in here.
I can be in the camera?
Yes. Maybe she's gonna be right behind you, but she's nice.
Okay, so our campus administrative team, we went to professional development at Region 8 and for lead forward accountability training. So we learned about accountability for the 2023 school year and then proposed changes. We've kind of been having these conversations with our star grade levels, but we also plan on February 20th, our staff development day, meeting with those content teams and just reinforcing what we learned and the importance of academic performance, student growth, and of course our EL proficiency. We've been continuing to meet with our 3rd and 4th grade constant level teams to discuss student performance on CUAs, low performing standards, and develop student groups per targeted standard, and discussing how we're going to reteach those. We presented at the beginning of the school year our 4th grade math goals that we had, and so we're closely monitoring that student performance and making progress towards our 4th grade targeted math goals. We've increased on our last CUA, which is a common unit assessment. It was 8B, it was over measurement. We've increased our meets to 64% and our masters to 40%, so that exceeds kind of our goal. We've just recently completed our 1st grade dyslexia screener. Our committee has met. We have determined who is at risk, and we've sent those letters home. We're about to start TELPAS testing. We held our campus site-based committee meeting on February 8th. We broke into groups, the committee, and we completed our formative review for February. We had a lot of great conversations led by our teachers and parents and other community representatives on the board, on the committee. We discussed some things key topics they discussed were the benefits of learning walks, kind of what the teachers have learned and what they had implemented, our RTI meetings and data meetings and how we're using those to monitor student progress. We looked closely at our attendance, which is right under our goal of 95%. We're currently at 94.90%. And we discussed ways that we have implemented a school-wide attendance program and ways that we've tried to educate parents. We've sent things through our school newsletter. We've advertised on our social media page. We were really looking for any new ideas that the committee could bring. We discussed our positive school culture. Teachers talked about they reported they felt supported and had an opportunity for shared decision making. In January, our morale booster was we cooked breakfast for the staff. We're continuing our PBIS incentive, which is our positive behavior incentive. So this Thursday, we're going to have our Tiger Fiesta at First Baptist Church with the Carnival Games. And several of our high school with Miss Blue. She's bringing some of her students, and we're working with them, and they're going to work some of the booths. We discussed our safety, our drills are being conducted, teachers are providing feedback, and we are doing our weekly reminders to remind staff to lock their doors. One of the things I'm really excited about is we are partnering with the Northeast Texas Child Advocacy Center for the Play It Safe program. We had it all scheduled, but the ice storm kind of messed that up, so we had to reschedule it. But that prevention program, the goal is to help children recognize, react, and report dangerous situations. It's research-based, age-appropriate, and grade-specific. Ms. Long and I, we talked to several parents directly, and it's open to those parents to attend, and they can opt out. But we just feel like at this time, it's really important to include that on our campus to empower our students. I'm going to let you know about that. We've recently sent student surveys just to collect data on how our students feel about our school and ways to improve. We've kind of organized it by grade level so we can kind of track them as they continue to move through elementary. And it's just really neat so far to see. It's not all completed yet, but third and fourth are pretty much done theirs, and it's neat to see kind of what the students are saying and what they love about our school. Most of the responses are their teachers, and so that's just, to me, just a testament to how hardworking, our staff is, and they truly care about the students. If that's the first thing they say that they love about school. Was it PE or recess? Some things they kind of wanted to change. And the sky was the limit on this. They wanted personal fridges, vending machines. One thing I can tell you that these parents are having these conversations with their students because it wasn't mentioned anywhere in the survey, but they're talking about the 4-day school week. So in March, we'll send out staff and parent surveys to help us plan for our campus needs assessment in April and for the next school year.
Thank you.
Good evening. I want to report on the middle school, several of the things that's going on. First of all, I just want to report again about how excited we were that the DI team is making it to state. As you can tell, our teachers are working really hard with the students are working really hard. They're just doing a great job in the academic and STEM portion of very creative portion of learning, and very excited for them. It was a unexpected. The students were very nervous and felt like they didn't feel like they were going to be successful. The day before, they were like, I don't know, should we go? The weather's been bad, should we stay? And of course, going showed them that their hard work did pay off, and they were actually just a little nervous. So they did very well. Our attendance is still around between 95.5 to 96 for the 6 weeks. We still have a lot out for illnesses. We're still having a lot come through the nurse's office with stomach bugs. Still working on trying to make sure we get those calls out to the parents every day when someone's absent to see if we can try to help them with it. We are still working very hard in our RTI, giving our students the additional supports that they need to make that little bump up in whatever category they are, whether it's that they didn't meet and they're trying to approach, or from approaching the testing categories to where they can meet or master, etc. We really focus a lot on just maintaining what they had from last year, whatever their scores were last year, just making sure if they had a 58 or 68, doesn't matter what their score was, whatever it was last year in that particular subject, such as English or math, if they can just maintain that, then that is growth. So we really work on The teachers really work on just trying to give them that, that positive feedback that, look, you are doing very well. We don't make it so unattainable that they feel like, I had a 38, now you expect me to get a 70. We just want them to know that if you can just get a 38 again, that'll be growth. Okay, so we really work on that. And then we rotate the students through as they become more successful through their progress monitoring. Then they move on to the next class, and then we move somebody else in that might need a little bit more help. On our STAR, really getting prepared for our benchmarks coming up next month, and trying to get students prepared to use the technology and to be comfortable with using the different tools that the technology allows them to use. If they'll just practice it so they're comfortable with it. So we're practicing that and hoping that the benchmark they'll see the fruit of their labors. And then again, we are having some faculty get-togethers tomorrow morning. They're getting ready for the Valentine's. Just letting them feel special. We get a lot of feedback from them that they really do feel special in regards to what's going on. Monday, we have some training, which we'll do some professional development training. And some of that they're going to have, while they prepare for that, we're going to have a pancake breakfast for them. So a lot of things going on there. And they're very excited. They seem, the teachers comment frequently that they feel really appreciated. That's all I have. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
And I know you normally would see Mr. Glover at this time, but we have basketball playoffs going on. So he's representing the high school there, and I'm here tonight representing. If you don't know who I am, I'm Shelley Brown, one of the assistant principals. I don't come in here visiting very often. On the academic front, we had benchmarks in English 1 and 2 last week to prepare for the EOC test. And that both of those benchmarks were very enlightening to areas that we need to grow before we take the actual test. We have about 2 months to really help our students gain that success and continue forward. So our English teachers, English 1 and 2, might be a little grumpy right now because they're digging into data. And if you're an English person, numbers are not always your favorite. So we've been showing them a little bit about how to get into the data to see where students were and where we need them to be. So this week they're really crunching those numbers so that we can come up with what we are calling EOC Blitz, so that we can incorporate that starting next week to get really busy and get going. Also on the academic front, we've met with NTCC recently. We are looking to expand some of our online dual credit offerings for the high school. And the reason for that is, if you are a parent, you might have seen a lot of surveys coming out recently. Students have, thank you so much for answering those. Students have been answering surveys, and they're eager for more academic opportunities. They're very excited about the possibility of getting more rigor in their subjects and having dual credit options. And so they've showed some interest, so we've reached out, and NGCC has also reached out because they've heard the call. You'll be hearing more about that. We're looking to see just how much interest there'll be in maybe adding some business type online and dual credit type things at the high school. On the CTE front, we've also surveyed our students to see what what kind of pathways, programs, what type of things can we keep offering here at Mount Vernon that really gets them ready for life beyond us. We want them ready for careers and college when they leave, whichever they choose, or if they want both, that's even better. So we're looking at making sure all of our programs are aligned to the TEKS and that they align up with an IDC, which is an industry-based certification, so that when our student finishes 4 years with us, they leave here job ready. If they want to walk into the job market, they'll have a certification. If they want to go to college, they'll still have a certification to fall back on. Some students are even able to work in their profession as well. They're doing that. So we're working on increasing that. We have a really good, strong program going and everything, so we're going to keep that going in our ag, in our AV, in our teacher certification and planning. It's early learning. And she mentioned Miss Blue, that's part of our program up here where the students learn how to help the younger age students and prepare. We also have health sciences and cosmetology. So we're looking to make sure that those stay strong and see what we can offer them that our students are interested in. On the CTE front, really excited to let you know 45 of our students were able to get the level 1 basic knowledge certification for floral design, which is really exciting. So if they want to go into that next phase and actually do the hands-on piece, which I hope they will, that'll go to the next part of the cert. And we had 10 audio-visual team members go to Waco after our big ice storm. And so that was a commitment. When school got back on Friday, they loaded up the bus and they come on to Waco and they competed. We don't know the results yet, but I was so proud of those young people of how they acted in Waco, how they represented Mount Vernon, and how excited they were to be there and learn from other people in other schools about the AV program. I was really excited, can't wait. Hopefully this week we'll hear more. But we're very excited about what's going on in high school and ready to get going on our EOCs and getting those raised up, especially after their sharks. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Public notice of federal grant application for the 2022-2025 school safety standards formula grant.
So I don't know if you remember all the board policy updates with 120, but that was one that came out through city local. So every time we have any federal grant applications from here on out, you'll get to see me for an information item to let you know what federal or state grant money is available. And also we open that up for public input. So on our district website, in addition to having it as an information item at a board meeting, I have created a state and federal grants drop down in our department section that lists state and federal grants that we currently have or that we are proposing notice of intent to apply for. I've also added a survey link so that the public can provide public input, questions, and so I do monitor that as well. So the one that we have going up is the school safety standards formula that is actually due on the 17th. The state released entitlement funds to help school districts meet the new school safety standards that are coming out through commissioner's rules. So we've got some pretty aggressive school safety standard requirements now due to the safety precautions with school districts in Texas. So the state is allowing us to be in process and moving forward towards those by August 2023. So we were entitled to $200,000 to use as a school district towards those. There are 7 top items that we have to focus on first before we can go through any additional safety needs that we have. Fencing, exterior doors, glass exterior doors, to purchase force entry resistant film, ground level exterior window modifications, silent panic alert technology. We actually had a earlier grant that we applied for to help us with that piece. So we didn't have to worry about that on this one, as well as exterior door numbering, a master key lock box. So those are kind of our primary big ticket items that we have to look at. So you can understand very quickly, $200,000 does not go very far when you're looking at those big ticket items. So we have been going out for bids and RFQs on that process, and we are in process of getting those back for a competitive quote. And we'll utilize that money kind of with item number 1 as far as it will go down. So that will be used towards school safety with those compliance requirements. Questions?
You said there's 7,
7 main items that we have to focus on
but we only get to 3. Where's the other 4?
through our local money.
Yes.
What about?
What's the first couple on that list?
Fencing and exterior doors.
Remember going back to our safety meeting we had, that we kind of, that was part of that meeting and part of the priority that falls in line with that group of 7 things we have to as well.
And I think the main reason that they got fencing first is because they really put some pretty strict restrictions on ground level windows. And so I think to avoid having to do some modifications to older, you can imagine, again, no different than our buildings here. So to avoid having to hit every single ground level window or put that intruder-resistant film, which is very expensive, a lot of schools are opting for perimeter fencing. So once you have the perimeter fencing up, then you don't have to worry about those ground exterior windows. That is considered secure through that. So I think that is why you're seeing some of these schools are looking at fencing and closing in areas that have those entry windows or entry doors. The other thing we've had to look at is the beauty of all these glass entry doors that we have, but now they're causing a huge issue because we can't have glass that can be broken and have access in, which is where then the film comes in. So yes, it does come out of the local money to make and comply with that list. 6 pages to be exact.
Okay. Brooke, do you have any questions on that?
No, sir.
Okay. Thank you, Ms. White. So, FFA, on our budget here, about 80, what are we, Pam, on salaries, 80-something %?
About 76,
Okay, so 3/4 of our budget, our money goes to salaries. And then the rest we can, so like this deal right here, we have to do this. It's all about keeping y'all safe, so we want to do it, but we have to adjust and figure out how we can. We're going to get a grant for $200,000 for probably $500,000 worth of stuff or more. So that's just part of it. We want to do that, but some of this stuff we just have to do that here and there. So that's part of the process. And that's why we're here at these meetings. We recognize people when we go through this business, but we figure out how we're going to spend our money and what the best way is to take care of our students and all the people that are working up here and doing different things. So that's why we have these good information items and things like that. Okay. Well, that wraps up our information items there. So at this time, which is, yeah, y'all need to close out. Yeah, before we go into our closed session, we'll start with the closing.
Madam Secretary, do you have a record of any further business which should now be transacted?
I do not, Madam President.
Does any member know of any new or unfinished business which should properly come before this meeting? We are about to adjourn this meeting of the Mount Vernon FFA chapter. As we mingle with others, let us be diligent in labor, just in our dealings, courteous to everyone, and above all, honest and fair in the game of life. Mount Vernon FFA relinquishes the chair.
And before we go in, we're glad y'all are here. I'm excited about this. All right. So what I'm going to do now is I'll close out on this part, and we'll go into the board members will go into a little closed session, and we'll talk about a few things, and we'll come back out here and sometimes we make decisions, sometimes we don't. All right. So at 6:09 p.m. This meeting will now convene into closed session. Okay. 7:36 in the p.m. Mount Vernon ISD Board convenes back into open session. At this time, personnel report, need to consider professional contracts as recommended by the superintendent.
I'd like to make the following recommendation in regard to administrator contract renewals. Assistant Superintendent Chandra White, Directors Anthony Eilers, Pam Van Deaver, Craig Watson, Athletic Director Brad Floyd, Principals Jason Glover, Desiree Phillips, Crystal Woodard, Assistant Principals Shelley Brown, Michael Hammonds, Emily Haskell, Susan Williams, Dean of Students Ashley Bates, and Beth Deal.
Any questions on that? Okay, we need to vote on that, right?
Yes, please.
So,
All right, Brooke, you are here, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. I'll make a motion that we accept the professional contracts as recommended by the superintendent as presented. Do I have a second?
Second.
Seconded by Brooke. All four?
Four.
That's four.
Thank you.
Any further business?
acknowledge some resignations, make you aware of those. Attached in your board book, William Heiser, BAC aide, Tiffany English, BAC aide, both of those roles. Mr. Heiser is effective February 10th. Tiffany English was effective January 12th. Carla Rivera is cafeteria worker effective January 13th. Bradley Willard, athletic director, effective March 17th. Kaylin Willard, special education teacher, effective May 26th. Mercedes Magano, Spanish teacher at the high school, effective May 26th. And Matt Tuttle, the one and only, technology, effective June 30th. So we acknowledge those.
Okay,
All right, that's all I have, Mr. President.
right. Meeting adjourned at 7:38 p.m.
Thank you very much.
Let us know who's,
Oh, wait.
yeah.